From the vast, untamed steppes they came, a force of nature on horseback. They appeared like a storm on the horizon of the ancient world. Their name alone struck terror into the hearts of Romans and Goths alike. They were the Huns, led by the legendary Attila. But who were these enigmatic warriors? Were they merely savage barbarians bent on destruction, or were they something more? Could they be the distant ancestors of the great Turkic Empire that would later shape continents? We embark on a journey to uncover the roots of the Turkish Huns myth and explore its enduring influence. The Huns burst onto the stage of European history in the late 4th century CE. Their sudden arrival sent shockwaves across the continent. They swept across Eastern Europe, overwhelming the powerful Gothic tribes. This defeat triggered mass migrations that destabilized the Roman Empire. Soon, the Huns were not just a distant threat but a formidable enemy at the very gates of Rome itself. Their raids and conquests became the stuff of nightmares. Attila, their most famous leader, earned a fearsome reputation. He was known as the Scourge of God, a force seemingly sent to punish the civilized world. Yet, despite their immense impact, the true origins of the Huns remained shrouded in mystery for centuries. Where did they come from before their European arrival? Ancient texts hinted at a connection to a powerful nomadic group in Central Asia. These were the Xiongnu, known from Chinese historical records. The Xiongnu dominated the eastern steppes for centuries before the Huns appeared in the west. They were masters of mobile warfare and devastating mounted archery. This striking similarity in military tactics and lifestyle led many historians to propose a link. But were the Huns simply the Xiongnu under a new name, and what does this mean for their identity? Let us delve deeper into the history of the Xiongnu. They emerged as a major power in Central Asia around 300 BCE. For centuries, they were the primary adversaries of the mighty Chinese Han dynasty. Their conflicts shaped the early history of East Asia. The Xiongnu are often considered the first true empire of the steppes. They created a vast confederation of nomadic tribes. However, internal conflicts and sustained pressure from the Han dynasty eventually weakened the Xiongnu state. This led to their fragmentation and dispersal. Historical evidence strongly suggests that some Xiongnu groups migrated westward. Over generations, these migrating tribes are believed to have evolved into the people known to Europeans as the Huns. It is crucial to understand that the Xiongnu were not Turkic in the modern ethnic or linguistic sense. Their confederation likely included various linguistic and tribal groups. However, the Xiongnu state existed in a region that was home to early Turkic-speaking peoples. These groups were part of the fluid nomadic culture of the steppes. The proposed Xiongnu-Han connection forms a vital bridge in understanding steppe history. It links the powerful nomads of the East with those who challenged the West. This historical memory, whether precise or generalized, became fertile ground for later myths. It connected distant past with emerging identities. The question of the Huns' language is central to their identity. Unfortunately, there is no definitive linguistic proof that the Huns in Europe spoke a purely Turkic language. The surviving Hunnic words recorded by Roman historians are few and debated. Some scholars see Turkic or Altaic elements within this limited vocabulary. Titles like Turkhan or Khan, which appear in later Turkic Empire, have been linked to potential Hunnic origins. This suggests at least some linguistic or cultural exchange. A compelling proposal is that the Huns were not a single ethnic group but a multi-ethnic confederation. This structure is similar to later Turkic Khagadates. This confederate model would explain their remarkable ability to absorb and rule over diverse populations. They incorporated conquered tribes into their military and political structure. Many Hunnic customs and organizational principles mirror those of later Turkic Empire. This includes their nomadic governance, reliance on mounted warfare, and elements of shamanic spirituality. Attila's vast domain, stretching across Central and Eastern Europe, resembled the world later dominated by Turkic groups like the Avars and Bulgars. It was a world shaped by steppe traditions. While a direct, exclusive Turkic lineage for the Huns remains unproven, Their cultural and political legacy clearly influenced the peoples who followed them on the steppes. They were part of the same historical continuum. Centuries after the Hunnic Empire faded, a new power arose from the heart of the steppes. In the 6th century CE, the Turks emerged in the region of modern Mongolia. Unlike the Huns, the Turks left behind clear evidence of their language. They spoke a language that is unequivocally classified as Turkic. Their most significant legacy is the Okhong inscriptions. These monumental stone stelae contain the oldest known examples of written Turkic script. Under leaders like Uman Khan, the Turks rapidly expanded their influence. They created a vast khaganate that stretched across Central Asia. This empire was the first to explicitly identify itself as Turk. It marked a pivotal moment in the history of Turkic peoples. The Turks established a political and cultural framework that would influence subsequent Turkic states for centuries. They demonstrated the power of a unified Turkic identity. Their rise solidified the presence of Turkic speakers as major players on the Eurasian stage. They controlled vital sections of the Silk Road. The Göktürk Khaganate, though eventually divided, laid the foundation for the concept of a Turkic state. It provided a clear point of origin for later Turkic dynasties. Their history is a testament to the enduring power and adaptability of steppe cultures. They built an empire on mobility, military prowess, and political organization. The Turks inherited and adapted many traditions from earlier steppe groups, including potentially some echoes of Hunnic practices. They were part of a long lineage of steppe rulers. The collapse of the Göktürk Khaganate did not end the era of Turkic Empire. A succession of powerful Turkic states rose to prominence in Central Asia and beyond. The Uyghur Khaganate, centered in the Tarim Basin, succeeded the Turks in the east. They are known for adopting Manichaeism and later Buddhism, and for promoting literacy. Further west, groups like the Kalaks and later the Karakhanids emerged. The Karakhanids were among the first Turkic dynasties to embrace Islam, marking a significant cultural shift. Perhaps the most impactful were the Seljuk Turks. Originating from Central Asia, they migrated westward in the 11th century. The Seljuks conquered Persia and then pushed into Anatolia. Their victory at the Battle of Manzikert in 1071 opened Anatolia to Turkic settlement, setting the stage for the Ottoman Empire. Each of these empires, from the Uyghurs to the Seljuks, carried echoes of earlier steppe traditions. They maintained elements of nomadic discipline, military strategy, and the concept of the Khanate. These Turkic empires profoundly shaped the history of Eurasia. They controlled vast trade networks along the Silk Road and influenced the political landscape from China to the Mediterranean. Their origins were firmly rooted in the same Central Asian steppe region that gave rise to the Xiongnu and, likely, the Huns. They were part of a continuous historical and cultural flow. The legacy of these empires is visible today in the distribution of Turkic languages and cultures across a vast geographical area. They built upon the foundations laid by earlier steppe peoples. Their history demonstrates a remarkable ability to adapt, innovate, and integrate diverse populations and religions while maintaining a distinct identity. They were heirs to a long tradition of steppe power. Despite the historical complexities, the idea of a direct Turkish descent from the Huns gained significant traction, particularly in the 20th century. This was notably promoted by intellectuals like Ziya Gökalp in Turkey. Gökalp and others sought to connect modern Turkish identity to a glorious, ancient past rooted in the steppes. The Huns, with their fearsome reputation, were a compelling symbol. This narrative led to the teaching that, "We are the sons of Nidha," referring to Modu Chinu, the founder of the Xiongnu Empire. This linked the Xiongnu directly to Turkish ancestry via the Huns. The myth found expression in cultural symbols and even monuments. Statues and memorials dedicated to Attila can be found in both Hungary and Turkey, reflecting a shared, albeit distinct, historical connection. Attila became a symbol of power, independence, and the proud heritage of the steppe peoples. He represented a spirit of freedom and martial strength. The myth of the Turkish Huns, while not strictly accurate in a narrow ethnic sense, is deeply cultural and symbolic. It represents a connection to a powerful, mobile, and independent past. It is an identity tied to the vastness of the steppe, the freedom of nomadic life, and the ability to forge empire from diverse groups. It speaks to a shared cultural memory of dominance and resilience. This myth serves as a powerful narrative for connecting modern Turkic peoples to a long and impactful history. It provides a sense of continuity and pride stretching back millennia. It highlights the enduring influence of steppe cultures on world history. The legacy of these nomadic peoples continues to resonate in the identities of nations today. The myth is less about precise genealogy and more about cultural inheritance and shared historical experience. It is a story of the steppe, its peoples, and their impact on the world. So, were the Huns Turkish? Based on current historical and linguistic evidence, the answer is likely no, not in the sense of being exclusively or primarily Turkic in a modern ethnic definition. However, the Huns were undoubtedly part of the broader cultural and historical tapestry of the Eurasian steppes. This is the same environment that shaped the early Turkic peoples. Their political structures, military tactics, and nomadic lifestyle influenced, and were influenced by, the peoples around them, including early Turkic speakers. They were part of a shared steppe heritage. The myth of the Turkish Huns, while not a precise historical fact, is a powerful cultural narrative. It inspired national movements, provided a sense of epic history, and fostered pride in a steppe identity. It connects modern peoples to a deep past of mobility, power, and resilience. It is a story that transcends simple ethnicity. The legacy of the Huns and the subsequent Turkic Empire is undeniable. Their impact on the course of history still gallops across the centuries. They remind us that history is complex, identities are fluid, and the echoes of the past continue to shape the present. The steppe peoples left an indelible mark on the world. Understanding the relationship between the Huns and later Turkic groups requires looking beyond simple labels. It requires appreciating the dynamic, interconnected world of the ancient steppes. It is a story of migration, adaptation, conflict, and the rise of empire. It is a fundamental chapter in the history of Eurasia. The myth endures because it speaks to a truth about cultural inheritance and the power of historical narrative. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of the steppe. If you found this journey into the origins of steppe empire intriguing, please consider liking this video. Your support helps us explore more forgotten histories. Subscribe to our channel The Turkish Odyssey and ring the notification bell to ensure you don't miss our future explorations of history, culture, and myths. We have many more stories to tell. What are your thoughts on the connection between the Huns and Turkic peoples? Do you see them as direct historical ancestors or spiritual successors sharing a common steppe heritage? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your perspectives and engaging in thoughtful discussion about these fascinating topics.